Every time you load a web page or open an app on your phone, a silent auction takes place in a fraction of a second. These unseen microtransactions make up the programmatic digital advertising industry, an engine pumping $650 billion through the web annually. The original pitch for this system was perfect efficiency. Advertisers were told that software, using real-time bidding, could instantly match their brand with the exact right consumer at massive scale, without the need for manual negotiations or handshake deals. This chart shows two very different realities. On the left, we see the volume of ad impressions being sold, shooting upward like a hockey stick, accompanied by reports of billions of views. But actual human internet usage has been completely flat since 2013. The math doesn't add up. Corporate sales stall, yet metrics report record-breaking engagement. Between the advertiser's budget and the publisher's website sits an automated maze known as the black box. Brands pour money in, but they have almost zero visibility into where their ads actually run, or who, if anyone, is looking at them. By removing human oversight from the buying process, the industry built a structural blind spot large enough to hide a $1 trillion heist. Advertisers haven't completely ignored this threat. For years, they've paid legacy verification vendors to monitor their traffic. And month after month, these vendors deliver glossy reports assuring brands that bot traffic is safely contained at around 1%. Dr. Augustine Fu decided to look past those packaged dashboards. As a former Fortune 500 ad executive with a PhD from MIT, he stepped completely outside the vendor ecosystem to analyze the raw, unfiltered data logs of digital campaigns himself. His research reveals that the 1% fraud rate cited by the industry is not a measure of total fraud. It is simply a measure of all the fraud those legacy vendors are financially incentivized to catch. The methods used to siphon off ad budgets have evolved rapidly. In the early days of programmatic buying, fraudsters would simply set up thousands of fake websites using generic WordPress templates and point automated bot traffic at them. This enabled CPM fraud, which stands for cost per thousand impressions. In this model, bad actors get paid every time an ad loads on a page, even if that page is viewed exclusively by non-human bots. The ads load into thin air, and the money gets paid out. As advertising dollars shifted toward mobile, the tactics shifted with them. Instead of building fake websites, fraudsters began building fake mobile apps, casual games, emoji keyboards, and flashlight apps that real humans voluntarily download from app stores. You might wonder why a phone needs an app for a flashlight when the feature is built right into the operating system. It's because, once installed, these apps open hidden web browsers in the background. While the phone sits perfectly still in your pocket, the app is furiously loading thousands of invisible ads, draining battery life and generating massive ad revenue. By hijacking the personal devices of millions of actual humans, fraudsters industrialize their theft, making fake traffic indistinguishable from real residential web browsing. Generating fake impressions is highly profitable, but the most sophisticated trick in the playbook is attribution fraud. This occurs when an ad platform takes credit for driving a sale by injecting itself into a user's customer journey right before a purchase is completed. One of the primary tools for this is cookie stuffing. Networks targeting eBay or users of the Honey extension operate by loading tens of thousands of affiliate links in the background, forcing tracking cookies onto a user's browser without their knowledge. It operates entirely on probability. If a platform stuffs millions of browsers with tracking codes from thousands of different merchants, eventually those real humans will buy something naturally. When they do, the tracker intercepts the transaction, claiming it drove the sale, and automatically extracts an affiliate revenue share. Attribution fraud destroys the advertiser's reality. It produces highly convincing spreadsheets that mathematically validate useless spending and make the least effective channels look like the brand's most profitable assets. To understand why this persists, we have to look at the supply chain itself. This chart, called the Display Lumiscape, maps out the programmatic advertising ecosystem. It is a dense web of middlemen, trading desks, and exchanges sitting between the marketer spending the money and the publisher displaying the ad. Looking at this structure led Dr. Fu to a critical diagnosis. Ad fraud is not a technological failure, it is an incentives failure. Every vendor in this chain is paid per impression. If they actually built technology to successfully block all the fake traffic, their own revenues would plummet. This economic reality explains how one of the largest programmatic ad exchanges in the world allowed up to 92% of its open exchange inventory to be flooded with fraudulent activity before taking any action to purge it. To break through this conflict of interest, Dr. Pfau built Pfau Analytics. Instead of relying on a vendor's filtered dashboard or an opaque brand safety score, this platform gives advertisers direct access to the raw, log-level data of their campaigns. With raw data, the fraud becomes obvious. Brands can instantly spot physical impossibilities, like a mobile ad registering a click without the touchscreen ever being touched. By looking at the logs, advertisers cut through the black box and regain control over their budgets. While advanced analytics can identify fake clicks, the most definitive way to expose attribution fraud requires almost no technology at all. Dr. Fu recommends a strategy known as the acid test. It's called the turn-off experiment. An advertiser pauses their digital ad spend for 1 week, perhaps entirely or just in a specific region, and watches what happens to their actual revenue. Uber ran exactly this test in 2016. They were paying millions to mobile exchanges for new app installs. When the analytics team paused the ad campaign, users continued to download the app at the exact same rate. The ads weren't driving the behavior. People just downloaded Uber because they wanted Uber. If sales remain steady when the ads are paused, it proves the ad spend was entirely wasted. The campaign wasn't providing incremental growth. It was just a middleman extracting a tax from organic customers. Stolen ad revenue directly finances the open web's most dangerous elements: malware development, illegal piracy networks, and foreign disinformation campaigns. The negligence in legacy verification is so severe that global brands have inadvertently funded child sexual abuse material through automated ad placements. These failures have triggered federal probes and congressional hearings, targeting the vendors who failed to protect their clients. In response to these scandals and post-pandemic budget pressure, large advertisers are finally demanding log-level transparency. They are moving away from opaque exchanges and cutting out the intermediaries who profit from complexity. In an ecosystem perfectly optimized to scale fake engagement, an advertiser's only true competitive advantage is demanding independent, empirical truth.